Let's start our session now.
Yes.
Yes. Let me check our last session video. Please wait. So remember our control plane and data plane discussion. Everyone, Jagdish and Rohan, you guys are. I think you guys are available.
Yes, yes.
Session.
Okay.
Remember our control plane and data plane
Data
discussion.
plane. Yeah.
And Palo Alto is using SP3 architecture
Okay. Right.
to forward your traffic. And in data plane, we have three separate processor is called control, is called signature match processor. We have multi-core security processor and networking processor, right? So we are completed some basic discussion. Now we can move on to the next concept. It's called packet flow. Okay. So let's continue our topic from packet flow concept. So let's talk about packet flow. See, for packet flow discussion, let me show you. We have a separate notes for Palo Alto firewall packet flow discussion. See, we have a deep option. We can discuss this slow path, fast path option. But right now, I'm giving you the basic idea about packet flow. If traffic is going to hit onto the Palo Alto firewall box, then how Palo Alto firewall box will process the traffic. So this is your complete Palo Alto firewall device. And if traffic is going to hit onto this ingress interface, then Palo Alto firewall box will do first. This step is called initial packet processing. So Palo Alto firewall box will do initial packet processing. In initial packet processing, Palo Alto firewall box is trying to verify this traffic. For example, if traffic from coming from LAN side and trying to go onto the WAN zone side. So if traffic is going to hit onto this ingress interface, then firewall will do first initial packet processing. In initial packet processing, it will first check traffic is coming from which source zone. So traffic is coming from which source zone or source address or source user. So this will check the traffic. The Palo Alto firewall will check traffic is coming from which zone and traffic is coming from which source address with which user account. After that, it will go and check if you want to go on to the particular destination. So for a particular destination, firewall will check destination information into the routing table or into the forwarding table to reach particular destination. For example, this inside machine is trying to communicate with 8.8.8.8. So firewall will check this destination information. Is there any entry available? Firewall will verify. Is there any entry available in my routing table for this particular destination? So firewall will verify destination information into policy-based forwarding, or it will go and check into the routing loop or forwarding loop. Then it will verify traffic is going to which destination zone. So traffic is coming from which zone, trying to go to which zone. Then it will go and verify NAT policy. So NAT policy evaluated. Maybe in your scenario, you are working with source NAT, maybe, or you have DNAT concept, DNAT scenario. So your firewall will check, it will check NAT policy configuration, NAT policy evaluated as per your traffic flow. It will try to verify for this traffic flow, is there any source NAT concept configuration or destination NAT? After that, it will go and check security pre-policy. In security pre-policy, Palo Alto Firewall box will check allow ports. So which port is allowed? Yes, Rohan. Yes, Rohan.
सर फॉरवर्डिंग लुकअप एक बार एक्सप्लेन करेंगे फिर से?
Forwarding lookup means routing table, you can say. Okay.
ओके
But देखो अभी आप उतना डीप में मत जाओ. Okay, Rohan.
ओके सर.
Because see, for forwarding table, we can discuss 6 tuple information. So don't go in deep right now. Okay.
ओके
Try to go with the basic option. Your firewall will check his routing table. That is the point.
ओके सर.
Firewall will check the routing table or forwarding table because this inside machine is trying to go on this particular destination. And for to go on particular destination, this is a L3 device. So it's
हाँ.
required a routing configuration. So
ओके
it will check the destination information in routing table if there are any entry available. After that, it will go and check destination zone. Okay, as per your destination, yes. For example, you are trying to go 8.8.8, so destination zone is WAN. So your firewall can identify destination zone information. Then, as per your packet flow, traffic is coming from LAN trying to go onto the WAN. So now firewall will try to identify for this packet flow, for this traffic, is there any source NAT or destination NAT? After that, it will go and check security pre-policy. What is security pre-policy? In security pre-policy, Palo Alto Firewall will check allow port information as per the source destination zone. Firewall will verify if there is any port or services is allowed. If port is allowed, services is allowed. Okay, so it will create a session. It will check the port and create a session, not allow. It will just check the port and create a session. Because it's a stateful firewall device. So if traffic is traveling through the firewall box, firewall will maintain the state of connection in a connection table or in a session table. So it will create a session for this traffic. I'm not talking about these options right now. Everyone, I'm not talking about these options right now because you don't know anything about app ID concept. You don't know anything about security profile concept. You don't know anything about decryption policy. So I'm not talking about these options right now. I'm talking about the basic packet flow. Once the session will create it, and if, for example, as per your traffic flow, you are using source NAT, so your Palo Alto will apply the NAT configuration and then forward the traffic. Then forward the traffic to the egress interface. Let me revise this. My point is, what if traffic is going to hit onto this ingress interface? Your firewall will verify traffic is coming from which source zone, which source address, and now routing table information, destination zone information, NAT policy evaluated, check allow port, session created, and now NAT is applied, source NAT or destination NAT, and then packet is forwarded to the egress interface. So every time if traffic is going to hit onto the Palo Alto firewall box, Palo Alto will check zone information. If you guys are familiar with the 14.8, so remember 14.8, in 14.8 there is no zone concept. Okay, in 14.8 we can go with the incoming interface and outgoing interface, right?
हाँ सर.
In 14.8 we have a concept of zone. Sorry, we have a concept of
Interface.
interface. Okay, clear this basic option, everyone.
हाँ सर.
Jagdish, any question?
No.
Sandeep, Ganyu,
No, sir.
Okay, now let's talk about initial configuration. So if I have a Palo Alto firewall device, Palo Alto firewall box. So port number one, let's take example. This port is a port number one, and I'm using not port number one, it's a management port. On Palo Alto firewall box, you will get a dedicated management port. With this management port, you can connect your management PC. By default, we have an IP address onto this port. It's called 192.168.1.1. Same series of IP we can configure onto this management PC. And by default, I told you in previous session, by default on management port, these services are enabled. Ping, HTTPS, and SSH. These services are enabled by default. So from this management PC, you can check your connectivity. You can access this complete firewall box with graphical page, or you can go with the CLI option. Default username on Palo Alto firewall box is admin, and password is admin. So let me show you. I have a small topology. Let me show you this basic configuration. I have a small topology right now. One Palo Alto firewall. Let's wait. You don't have this topology, for example. We don't know. We don't have. We have a small topology. We have a small topology. One Palo Alto firewall device and one management PC. We have only two devices for basic configuration. One Palo Alto firewall and one management PC. So you can wait. You can go with the CLI console. Right now, I'm taking CLI console. Now, see, username I told you, username is admin, and password is admin. You can press enter. Now you are in Palo Alto firewall box. See, this is Palo Alto firewall box console page. Palo Alto firewall console page. Now, if you go and check, for example, I'm using show interface management command. With show interface management command, you can get IP address information on your management port. So right now you can see IP address is unknown, net mask is unknown, default gateway is not available, IPv6 is unknown. So right now there is no any IP address on this management port. But by default, if you by default we have IP address 192.168.1.1. But if you don't have, so no problem, you can configure. I can show you how to configure IP address on management port manually, no problem. But if you have IP address, so same series of IP you can configure onto this management PC, and you can access. So right now we don't have it. Right now we don't have any IP address. So let's configure now manually. So for configuration, you can use configure command. Press enter. So now we are in configuration mode. We are in configuration mode here. Here we can use set device config, system type static. Why static? Because by default, DHCP service is enabled onto this port, onto this management port by default. DHCP service is enabled. We are trying to configure IP address statically, so that's why I'm using static option. So static, now you can press enter. So this is the mode. I want to configure IP address statically onto this management port. Now, command is set device config, system IP address 199.199.199.1 as per our topology. As per our topology, I'm using 199 series of IP. 199 series. So 199.199.199.1 net mask. So I'm using 255.255.255.0. Press enter. Done. Done. Your configuration. But remember always, whenever you configure anything, and if you want to live your configuration. Right now, this configuration is not live. Okay, if you want to live your configuration or if you want to save your configuration, so you can use commit command. If you guys are familiar with the Juniper devices, so we have commit option. In Fortinet, if you want to save your configuration, if you want to live your configuration, so you can use in the command. In Cisco, we have WR, right, to save our configuration. In Palo Alto, you can go with the commit command. You can press enter. So this commit command will save your configuration, will live your configuration. Please wait. This will take time. So this will take time. So let's go on to the management PC, and I'm trying to configure same series of IP onto this management PC. Wait. So let me check IP address here. ipconfig. So I'm using 199.199.199. So same series of IP address I'm using, no problem. Okay, you can go and check onto your Palo Alto firewall box. You can see here your configuration option. See, 100% is completed. Configuration committed successfully. So there is no any error. There is no any problem. Now I can verify my IP address on management port. So show interface management. So this time you can verify here. This time you can verify we have IP address 199.199.199.1. Clear my point, everyone? Go ahead.
Yes.
Please.
sir.
Sandeep. Okay, now I told you on
Yes.
management port, by default we have three services. By default, these three services are enabled: ping, HTTPS, and SSH. So I'm trying to ping first. From this management PC, I'm trying to ping my firewall device 199.199.199.1, and I'm getting reply. See, if I'm getting reply, so I can open any browser. And IP address I'm using HTTPS. IP address I'm using 199.199.199. So you can type this IP address information into browser. I'm using Google Chrome. You can use any browser, no problem. Now you can click on advanced, click on proceed. So this is your graphical page. You can say this is your login page. Username we have admin, and password admin. We are getting a message here. What? It's a warning page. Your device is still configured with the default admin account credential. So we are getting a warning page, okay? You are trying to log in with the default admin account and password. Try to change the password. So we can change later, no problem, but you can click on OK right now. Okay, so this graphical page will take time. So let's move on to the CLI console. So here, what we can do, if you want to restart your firewall device, Palo Alto firewall box, so you can use like request shutdown. You can request shutdown system. You can press enter. I'm not trying to shut down my firewall box, but I'm giving you idea about command. Request shutdown system to shut down your Palo Alto firewall box. If you want to restart, so request restart system. You can press enter. You can restart your firewall box. If you want to go for default factory reset, So you can use request system private data reset. If you want to reset your Palo Alto firewall box, you can use this command, request system private data reset command. Okay, you can press enter. It will ask yes or no. You can type yes. This will restart your firewall box and erase all the configuration. So you can go with the system request system private data reset command. I'm not using it, I'm giving you idea. You can use this command in your practical scenario because this will take time. If you reset, if you restart, so Palo Alto will take 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so now let's move on to the graphical piece. So here we have 9.0 operating system. But I will teach you on 10.x, okay? Don't worry. Okay, I have a separate topology for on 10.0, no problem. But for basic idea, I'm using 9.0. So fan OS, I'm using 9.x operating system. And you can see onto this graphical page, we have multiple options: dashboard, ACC, monitor, policy, object, network, devices. Multiple options are there. Let's start our discussion with dashboard, for example. Dashboard. So dashboard you can use for monitoring. Okay, you can use for monitoring. For example, see, this is your dashboard. This is what your dashboard. This is your complete dashboard. So you can see on dashboard, you can verify first general information. What is general information? So you can get an idea about your Palo Alto firewall box, like host name, IP address on management port, PAN OS version, okay, software version, application version, okay, license information, uptime. So you can get detailed information. You can see, for example, device name is PAVM. So PAVM firewall box management IP address is 199.199.199.1 mask. There is no gateway right now. We can configure later, but there is no gateway for this management port. IP address, IPv6 is unknown. Model is PAVM. Serial number is unknown. CPU ID, license is none. KVM, software version we are working with 9.0, but I will teach you other configuration. I will teach you on 10.x operating system. Application version, URL filtering version, uptime or date. You can verify here. See, guys, same information you can verify through CLI console. Same information. See, show system info. If you go with the source system info, see, we have the same information. Let me show you. We have same information. Device name, IP address, mask, default gateway. So either you can go with the graphical page or you can go with the CLI option. In our training, our focus is on graphical configuration because why we are using Palo Alto, Checkpoint, or Fortinet, these firewall blocks, because we can manage these devices with graphical page. We can manage, we can monitor traffic, we can troubleshoot with graphical page. No problem. So most of the configuration you can do with the graphical page. But if you want, so I can show you some configuration option with CLI. No problem. Hear my point, Jagdish?
Yes.
Genio, Rohan, Sandeep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's talk about other information on your dashboard. So system resources you can verify on dashboard. So management, CPU utilization, data plane CPU utilization you can verify. Logged in admins. So here you can get all administrator information. So admin is an admin from this IP address, and yes, we are accessing this Palo Alto firewall box from this 199 199.10. So you can get IP address information here through graphical page, session, and one through console. So let me show you. Same administrator is managing your Palo Alto firewall box with with console. Now you can discuss, you can verify some other information like data logs not available right now, system logs information, system related logs, config logs you can verify here, logs information, ACC risk factor. So right now it's a new Palo Alto Firewall box. That's why we have some limited information. Now, if you want to add more information here on your dashboard, some other tabs, so you can click on here. For example, I want to verify top application. Top application. I want to verify top application, top high risk application information on dashboard. Can add interface related information I want to verify on dashboard, high availability information, or I want to verify threat log information, URL filter log information. So you can add multiple information. Even you can arrange, for example, arrange here. So interface and high availability. I want to, I want here this site, threat log. I want to verify here. So you can arrange your tab, no problem. You can go with the layout. For example, right now we have 3 columns. You can go with the 2 column option. You can select 2 column option. By default, refresh rate for this page refresh rate is 5 minutes. But if you want to refresh your page manually, you can just click here. Okay. Now let's go with the device tab. If you click on device tab here, if you click on device. So in device tab, you can click on in device tab, you can go with the setup, and here I'm here in management. In management, you can go with the general setting. So you can go with some general setting. For example, I want to change host name, I want to change time zone information, date information. So you can configure here. For example, Palo Alto Firewall. Domain name is, for example, anything xyz.com, and login banner you can set, for example, welcome to Palo Alto training. Okay, time zone you can set, for example, Asia, Kolkata I'm using. You can select your time zone, you can click on OK. Whenever you change anything, I told you, whenever you change anything, for example, if you are here on CLI console, so you can type commit command. On graphical page, you can see this tab commit. Okay, can you hear me? Can you, Satish, Rohan, Sandeep?
Yes, yes.
On graphical page, you can get this information. See commit option. So whenever you change anything, you need to press commit button. You can click on commit. You can click on commit. So I'm trying to live my configuration. I'm trying to save my configuration. So you can see here. You can see in graphical page, operation information, status, result, progress, detail, and warning. So operation is what? Commit. This instruction is what? Commit. Status, right now it's active. Result, right now it's pending. Progress 55%. Detail information. And if there is any warning about this configuration, so you will get, wait. Now 99%, and now you can click on, if you want to close this commit status, no problem, you can click on close. If you click on close, for example, if you click on close, you can check here all the tasks. all your task information. See, commit task. So operation is commit, status is completed, result is successful. There is no any warning. If you want to verify your host name information, see now Palo Alto firewall. So Palo Alto firewall. Now host name is changed. Now let's go on to the interface tab here. Here we have interface tab.
We can do the same task from the interface also, like command window command.
Interface configuration.
Yes.
I
No,
will
no,
show.
I'm saying like we can same task do it from the command
Okay,
window.
CLI, yes,
CLI mode, yes, yes.
absolutely, you can do this, no problem.
Yes.
But in real scenario, 95% configuration, you will go through the 90 to 95% configuration you can do with the graphical page.
Okay, so we mostly prefer the graphical interface
Exactly, yes.
for the Palo Alto.
Palo Alto for Fortinet, for
Okay,
Checkpoint,
for
Cisco,
firewall.
yes,
Okay.
all the next generation firewalls.
Okay.
Okay, so now see here you can click on interface option, you can click on management. So remember our IP address configuration on management port. See IP address configuration 199.199 static configuration. If you want to set your gateway default gateway information, so you can say for example, I'm using 199, 199, 199, 150 for example. So you can set your default gateway. Now by default these services are enabled: HTTPS, SSH, and PIN. These services are enabled by default. In case if you want to enable HTTP, for example, you can just select done. You can click on OK. Here you can add your permitted IP address. It means here you can add your trusted host. For example, only specific machine can access this Palo Alto firewall box, or only this specific range can access this Palo Alto firewall box. So you can decide this information in permitted IP address. For example, you can click on add, and I'm trying to add 199, 199, 199.55/32. Only this specific IP address can access this Palo Alto firewall, for example. So now you can click on OK. See, so we have default gateway setting, one services HTTP, and permitted IP address. So now you can click on OK. And I told you whenever you configure anything, you need to commit your configuration. You can click on commit. Now this will take time, so let's verify IP address information here onto this management PC. So onto this management PC, we are using 199, 199, 199.10. And remember our configuration. Everyone. Only this 55 can access this Palo Alto firewall box. So result is successful. And now if you refresh this page, or for example, if you are trying to access again, for example, I'm trying to access again this Palo Alto firewall box 199, 199.1. Please wait. As per our configuration, only 55 can access your Palo Alto firewall box, but onto this machine, onto this management PC, we have 199, 199.10. So let's try to ping. I'm trying to ping Palo Alto management port. Remember IP address 199, 199, 199.1. So I'm trying to ping, and Rohan, I'm not getting reply this time. Can you? Sandeep,
Yes.
Jagdish, everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
I'm not getting any reply. See?
Hello?
Yes, I can.
Yes, yes.
So I'm not getting reply, guys. Okay, so what we can do, let's change our IP address. Let's change our IP address. So onto this management PC, I'm trying to change only 55. 55 can access this Palo Alto firewall box. So I'm trying to ping from this management PC. If you verify your IP address information again. So
Yes,
50,
now we can access
yes,
on
it's a
dot 55. Yes, yes.
it's a 55. So I'm
Mm.
trying to ping again. This time I'm getting reply. And now if you
Yes,
refresh your page,
it will be.
now see, remember our login banner, everyone. Login, welcome to Palo Alto training. So this is our login banner. It's available here and username admin.
So
Now
we need to enter the permitted IP address on the managed IP address.
Sadeep, if you want a security, for example, if you want to allow only specific machine to access this Palo Alto firewall, so yes, you can do this.
Yes.
But by
So
default,
we can add the IP address. Huh?
you can add IP. Yes, right
Yes.
now only 55 can access.
Yes, yes.
So now we can ping this time and we can access this firewall box graphically. Please wait, it's taking time. Now let's go to the device tab. Let's go into the management PC. So as per your configuration, only 55 can access this Palo Alto firewall box. And yes, we have 55 hybrids. Now let's talk about other information. So as per your configuration, HTTP service is enabled. Now HTTP service is enabled. In case if I want to enable tenant service, but with CLI command, with graphical page, it's a simple task. With graphical page, you can just select, you can click on OK, done. But in case if you want to enable telnet service, if you want to enable this telnet service through CLI console, then let's go on to the CLI console option. And now I'm going to the configuration mode and command is set device config system service. Question mark, you can get all services information. So these are the services. Now guys, you can see here the difference in between graphical page and CLI. See, in graphical page we have only these options, right? Yani? And with CLI console you can see we have multiple options for services. Everyone, so you can see some information. We have a difference, we have configuration different. In graphical page we have limited services information, and in CLI option you can see. So for example, if I want to enable telnet service, our task is I want to enable telnet service with CLI. So you can type disable telnet and command is no. Command is no. What is the command syntax? Command syntax is set device config system service and disable telnet no. Disable telnet no. Now you can press enter. You can press enter, and whenever you configure anything, you need to go with the commit command. Now, once we commit, so we can verify our telnet service. Right now only these services are enabled. Okay, now let's refresh this page manually. See, now we have telnet service information. If you click here, if you verify your telnet service, so it's enabled. Clear now my task? How to enable any services through CLI console? Is that clear for you? Sandeep,
Yes.
Jagdish,
Yes.
Rohan. Let's take a break for 10 minutes, everyone. Then we will continue. Okay, we will continue at 5:25. Okay, everyone. Please turn off your
Okay.
mic. Please turn off your mic.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you, Jagdish, Rohan, Sandeep, everyone? Can you hear me, everyone? Let's start our discussion, guys. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Rohan, Ganu, Jagdish, Sandeep.
Yes, Jagdish. Yeah.
Everyone, let's start our discussion now. Okay, so I hope it's clear how to enable services through graphical page and CLI option. Now let's go with the slide now. Okay, Rohan, Ganu, Jagdish, Sandeep.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
let's continue our topic. So now we can talk about some configuration in Palo Alto. Some config you can say. The first one is called candidate configuration and second is called running configuration. Candidate configuration and running configuration. So Palo Alto firewall comes with the following config type, config and running configuration. What is candidate configuration? So whenever you configure anything, whenever you change anything, for example, you are creating security policy, you are creating zone, virtual router, you are configuring any interfaces. So whenever you're configuring anything and just click on OK, let me show you. For example, if you click on this management, so for example, Palo Alto firewall. If I'm using Palo Alto firewall 100. So whenever you change anything and just click on OK, so this configuration is available in candidate config. Right now, this configuration is not live. This configuration is available in candidate configuration. You can verify here. You can go with the CLI console. You can see right now, host name onto this Palo Alto firewall is Palo Alto firewall. That's it. There's no any 100 something. No. So right now, this configuration is available in candidate configuration. So remember always whenever you change anything, configure anything, if you just click on OK, this configuration is not live. And this configuration is available in candidate configuration. And if you click on commit, for example, if you click on commit, if you commit your configuration, then your configuration will be live. And this commit configuration is available in your running configuration. This is called your running configuration. See, it's just like a startup config and running config. Remember in Cisco we have two type of configuration: startup configuration and running configuration in Cisco devices. Everyone, remember in Cisco devices
yes,
we have two type of configuration. It's called startup configuration and running configuration. Same kind of option we have. Candidate configuration is what? If you configure anything and just click on OK, this configuration is only available in candidate configuration. It's not live. Why we are using this concept, this candidate configuration in Palo Alto? Why? So for example, if I am an administrator, I want to create multiple firewall policies, NAT configuration or interface configuration. I want to change something in my firewall box. So I cannot change right now because right now I'm in live scenario, I'm in live network, traffic is traveling through the firewall box. So if, for example, if I change something, if I commit configuration, maybe I can face some issues. So that's why as a administrator, I can configure multiple things. I can create policies, I can configure interfaces, and just click on OK. I will just click on OK. So you can configure multiple options, just click on OK. So this configuration is not live. I will commit my configuration in evening, for example. In evening when there is no traffic traveling through the firewall box. In evening, I will commit my configuration. Okay, so candidate configuration is what? You can store your configuration. You can store your configuration. For example, see, if you go and verify on firewall box, if you click on device, if you click on config audit here, if you click on config audit, so you can get all candidate configuration information. See, here we have a two options, running config and candidate config. I'm trying to compare running configuration and candidate configuration. Here you can select context. For example, last 5 changes. I want to compare last 10 changes, last 20 or all. So I want to compare last 5 changes. So you can click on go. Now you can get some information here. See, running configuration and what? Candidate configuration. So right now in running configuration, we have host name Palo Alto. We have a host name Palo Alto Firewall. That's it. But in candidate configuration, we have Palo Alto Firewall 100. And this configuration is made by or changes by admin account onto this date and time. This date and time. So if any configuration is available in candidate configuration, you can go into the device, you can click on config audit and you can verify. Now, if you click on commit option, for example, I'm trying to commit my configuration. So once you commit your configuration, so now this candidate configuration information is going into the running configuration. Let me show you. If you go and verify on your firewall, so this time if you press enter, see Palo Alto Firewall 100. Palo Alto Firewall 100. And if you compare again your running configuration and candidate configuration, you can click on go button. If there is no any configuration available in candidate configuration, so you will get this message. You will get this message is called these versions are identical. These versions are identical. It means there is no any configuration available in your candidate configuration. Clear my point? What is the use of candidate configuration and running configuration in Palo Alto firewall box? Rohan, clear for you?
Yes.
Can you, Sandeep, Jagdish? Now let's talk about next concept is called role-based access control. So we can talk about RBAC concept. RBAC is a common topic. RBAC is a common topic for any firewall device. So for example, I have a Palo Alto firewall box, and to manage this Palo Alto firewall, I want to create multiple administrator. By default, we have admin account, yes. by default, we have an admin account, and with this admin account, we have a predefined profile. It's called super user profile. If any administrator has super user profile, so he can do anything. He can do any kind of configuration in firewall device. So we have default administrator with default profile. But I want to create some other administrator. For example, I want to create admin1, and admin2. I want to create two administrators. These are what? These are administrators. So these are the administrators. So we can create multiple administrators. But to define the level of access, we can create admin profile. We can create admin profile. What is admin profile? To define the level of access. Because admin1 is my L3 administrator. For example, it's my L3 administrator. He can do any changes. Whenever he will log in into this Palo Alto firewall box, he can do any kind of changes. What about admin2? Admin2 is my L1 administrator. L1 administrator, whenever he will log in into this Palo Alto firewall box, he can only read the configuration. He cannot change anything, for example. So I can create two administrators, admin1 and admin2, but to define the level of access or privilege, we can create admin profile. For example, L3 profile, for example, L3 admin profile. It's just a name. It's just a name. Okay, you can use any name here, no problem. It's just a name. So you can create L3 admin profile, and this profile you can attach with admin. You can create L3 admin profile. You can. This is for what? To define the level of access. In L3 admin profile, I can add some permission. For example, I'm trying to add full access permission, and this profile I can attach with admin1. So whenever admin1 will log in into this Palo Alto firewall box, you can do anything. I can create another administrator. It's called L1 admin. It's just a name. I told you. It's just a name. You can use any name here. So for example, L1 admin. This is profile name. This is our custom profile. L3 admin, L1 admin. These are what? These are our custom profile. And this is what? This is our default profile. So L1 admin profile we can create, and with this L1 admin profile, I can add read only permission. Read only permission. Now this profile I can attach with admin2. So whenever admin2 will log in into the firewall box, he can only read the permission. He cannot change anything. Clear my point? This concept is called RBAC, role-based access control. Clear my point, everyone?
Or back.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now. So let's go into the firewall box. I'm trying to configure here. I'm trying to create multiple firewall administrator. So you can see here we have two options. It's called administrators and admin roles. Administrators and admin roles. So I'm trying to create administrator first. So you can click on administrator. You can see here we have a default administrator is called admin. And with this admin account, we have a predefined custom role is called super user predefined role. Okay, if you want to create multiple profile, admin role profile, so you can click on admin role and you can click on add option. And now I'm trying to give a name for this profile. Is called L3 admin profile. And these are the tabs. See, if you verify here, dashboard, ACC, monitor, see, and you can, for these are the tab, and you can see these are the action: enable, read only, and disable. So if you go with the green option, it means you are trying to enable all the permissions. See, so with L3 admin profile, I'm trying to enable all the permission. All the permissions are green. I'm trying to enable all the permissions. You can click on OK. I'm not going to block anything in L3 admin profile. Let's click on add again. And I'm creating one more profile. Is called L1 admin profile. In L1 admin profile, I'm trying to add some privileges. For example, I want to deny policy. You can just click it. You can just click. If you click one more time, enable. If you click on disable. So object is disabled, network is disabled, device is disabled. So I'm trying to disable these tab, these options into this profile. I'm trying to disable these options. Now you can disable other information. For example, commit. Now you can click on OK. So we have two profile, is called L3 admin profile and L1 admin profile. You can click on administrator. You can click on add, and I'm trying to create a new administrator. Is called admin1. Admin. Now password, I'm using simple password 123, confirm 123. So either you can go with the predefined profile, or you can go with the role base. You can go with the custom profile. So I'm trying to add L3 admin profile with admin1 account. You can click on OK. Let's create one more administrator. One more administrator is called admin2. Password 123, 123. Role based access control. And now L1 admin. Click on OK. So with admin1, we are using this profile. It's called L3 administrator. And with admin2, we have a profile L1 admin. L1 admin. Now let's commit configuration. Click on commit. Now click on close. And now I'm trying to log out. You can click here. I'm trying to log out and log in with admin1 account. So admin1. Remember guys, with admin1, we have a profile is called L3 admin profile.
Yes.
In L3 admin profile, we have a full permission. So this administrator can do any kind of changes.
Yes.
Let me show you. Okay, so you can verify your administrator name. Administrator is admin1. See, administrator is admin1. And if you click on device, or if you click on network, you can go anywhere. This administrator can go anywhere, can edit interface, for example, can edit any interfaces. Please wait, it's working slow. You can edit any interfaces, click on policies option, for example. So this admin one can create policies. See, click on add, can create a policy. I'm trying to log out. And log in again with admin2 account. Password, oh, sorry, password, we are using 123. So with admin2, we have a profile is called L1 admin profile. In L1 admin profile, we have some limited access. So let's verify. Now you can verify, guys. I hope it's clear. See, these options are not available. Policy, object, remember? Everyone interface, network tab, these options are not available.
Yes.
I hope this small concept is called RBAC. I hope RBAC is clear. Now I'm trying to log out.
Yes.
Log out and log in again with main administrator, admin account, and password is admin. RBAC. Okay, let's go with the other option. DNS configuration. So we need to set up DNS here, because if this Palo Alto firewall box is trying to download latest signatures, wait. If your Palo Alto firewall box is trying to download latest signatures from updates.paloaltonetworks.com, so it's required DNS setting. Like in my laptop, I have a DNS setting. That's why I can open google.com, facebook.com, right? So same this box, if this Palo Alto firewall box is trying to go onto the updates.paloaltonetworks.com to download latest signature update. So this box is also required DNS setting. So we have two options. Either you can go with a graphical page, or you can go with the CLI option. So let me show you CLI option here. So you can go into the configuration. See, you can go into the configuration, then set device config, system DNS bit, system DNS setting, servers, primary. So primary, for example, 199.199.199.99, and secondary DNS server, for example, 8.8.8.8. Done. You can press enter and you can commit your configuration. Let's go on to the graphical page. I can show you. You can click on device. Click on setup. Click on services. Now you can click on edit option and see. Remember guys, our DNS configuration through CLI. See 199, 199, 99. It's available here. And 8.8.8. Clear? How to configure DNS setting in Palo Alto Firewall box? Ganu, Sandeep,
Yes.
Mohan, Jagdish.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so if you want to change here, no problem. For example, with graphical page, if you want to change 4.2.2, you can change. Wow. You can click on OK. You can click on OK. You can commit your configuration. Done. So this is the option. This is the command for DNS setting, DNS configuration in Palo Alto Firewall box. Now we can talk about dynamic updates and software updates. Let's talk about this topic tomorrow. Okay, everyone. Tomorrow we can discuss our next topic at 4:30. Please connect at 4:30. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Jagdish, Sandeep,
Yes,
Daniel,
sir.
Rohan. Bye, everyone. Take care, guys. Tomorrow
Bye.
at 4:30.
Sure.
Let's start our discussion now. Okay.
Mm.
So remember, guys, our previous discussion on RBAC concept, running configuration, candidate configuration, RBAC topic, role-based access control, DNS configuration on Palo Alto Firewall box. Now,
Yes.
now let's talk about the next concept is called dynamic update. Dynamic update. So actually we have two topics here, dynamic update and software update. So what is dynamic update? See guys, Palo Alto is a next generation firewall box. So if you want to utilize next generation firewall feature, in case if you want to utilize next generation firewall feature, so you need to first purchase license. You need to purchase license to download latest signature update. And this dynamic update is related with signature update. So let me show you this option. First, in real scenario, you need to purchase license. And if you have license, for example, in your organization on your Palo Alto firewall device, so you can click on device, you can click on license, and here you can get license information. License information. So first you have to install license, like for example, Global Protect Gateway license, PA VM license, threat prevention license, BandDB URL filtering, Global Protect, Wildfire. So as per your requirement, you can purchase your license. And if you have license here, for example, then you can download updates. You can download latest signature update from updates.paloaltonetworks.com. For example, see, here is the option antivirus signature, application and threat, global protect data file, wildfire signatures. So what is antivirus signatures? So if you know, if you want to detect latest malicious information or latest viruses information, so you need to download latest signatures. And here is the option. You can set a schedule time. You can set a schedule time, and with two options, either you can go with the download and install, or you can go with the download only. With download only, your Palo Alto firewall box will download the signatures. Only download the signatures. And you as an administrator, you can install this signature, this application and threat signatures later. For example, in evening, when there is no traffic is traveling through the firewall box, for example. Or you can go with this option, download and install. It means your Palo Alto firewall box will download the signature and install immediately. So this dynamic update is related with signature update. Clear my points? You have to purchase license first, and after that you can download latest signature update. This is called dynamic update. If your Palo Alto firewall box, has license, and if your Palo Alto firewall box is connected with the internet, so you can just click here, connect now. After DNS configuration, because if you have DNS configuration in your Palo Alto, then Palo Alto firewall box can go on updates.paloaltonetworks.com. So to resolve IP to name or name to IP, yes, you have a DNS entry. As per your DNS entry, your Palo Alto firewall box can go on to updates.paloaltonetworks.com. So if you have connectivity with internet, so you can just click on check now. So it will search for latest update, latest signatures, and you can download. Once you download, you can just right click and install it. Clear my point, everyone? So dynamic update is related with signature update. Clear?
Yes.
Genu, Rohan, Jagdish.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. The next option is called software update. So software update is related with operating system version. In Palo Alto, we are working with PAN-OS. So for example, if we have Palo Alto 8.0.0 and I want to upgrade this 10.0 into 10.0.0, I have 8.0.0 PAN-OS version and I want to upgrade in 10.0.0. So what I can do, I cannot directly upgrade 8.0.0 into 10.0. No, I cannot do this. I need to follow the upgrade path. Okay, I need to follow the upgrade path. So I have to upgrade 8.0.0 into 8.0.9. First, you need to upgrade with 8.0.9, then 9.0.0, then 9.0.0.9, then you can upgrade with 10.0.0. So if your Palo Alto firewall box is connected with the internet, you can just click here, check now. It will automatically download all the software update, all the PAN-OS update. Okay. After that, you can install. You can just select and you can install which version. See, if you are trying to follow the upgrade path, because you have to, you cannot upgrade directly 8.0.0 with 10.0.0. You need to follow this upgrade path. So you can download all the operating system version and step by step you can install it. So before upgrade your firmware version or before upgrade your operating system, remember always you have to take backup of your configuration. Maybe after upgradation, some of your configuration is not working properly. Maybe So the point is what you need to take a backup first if it is not working properly. So you need to downgrade your operating system. Clear my point? We have two options. It's called software update and dynamic update. Is that clear? This is a small concept. Any question?
No. No.
Okay, now we can talk
सर
about yes.
सर ये जो पैन ओएस का अपडेट है सर वो दिखाएंगे कहाँ पर है पाथ?
This is the option. Say device and software. You can click on device, then you can go on to the software.
ओके
But you need to have license first. Without license, you cannot download all the PAN-OS version in your organization. That's why I'm only giving you an idea. Clear, Rohan?
हाँ सर.
Okay, now we can talk about device operation. So for example, if you want to restart or shut down your Palo Alto firewall box. So, okay, let me access this Palo Alto first. So same topology I'm using, you can see guys 199 series of IP. So same topology I'm using 199.199.199.1. Remember our default username and password. So admin. Default username is admin and password is admin. So let's talk about device operation. What is device operation? If you want to restart or shut down your Palo Alto firewall box, you can. You can go on to the CLI option. You can type here request shutdown system. Request shutdown as a shutdown system. You can press enter to stop your Palo Alto firewall box. If you want to restart, so request restart system. You can press enter. I'm not using this command, but you can use, okay, to restart your Palo Alto firewall box through CLI. Now with graphical page, it's a very simple task. Wait, this will take time. Now click on device. You can click on device, you can click on operation, and here is the option, reboot or shutdown. You can just click, you can restart your Palo Alto firewall box, or you can shut down your Palo Alto firewall box. Now let's go on to the slide. Now let's talk about backup and restore. In Palo Alto firewall box, you can go with the backup and restore option. So in Palo Alto firewall box, we can take a snapshot. We can take configuration snapshot. For backup and restore, you can click on device, you can click on operation, and see these options: save, load, export, and import. These options are available for backup and restoring. Or you can use this option, it's called revert. What is revert? If you want to revert your firewall box, revert to last save configuration. If you want to go with the last save configuration, if you want to revert, so you can use this option. But for backup and restore, we can use save, load, export, and import. So in Palo Alto firewall box, you can take configuration snapshot. What is configuration snapshot? For example, you can check here. You can check here. Here we have a Palo Alto firewall box, and host name we are using Palo Alto firewall 100. So we have some configuration right now. So let's take a backup. Let's take a backup snapshot. snapshot here. Click on operation. Now you can click on save. So whenever you change anything in Palo Alto Firewall blocks, whenever you change anything, you can take configuration snapshot. You can take it's called incremental backup, you can say. So for example, I'm giving a name, my backup 1. You can click on OK. Sorry, valid name. What happened? My backup 1111. You can click on OK. Now I have a my backup 11 something. You can click on OK now. So I have a configuration snapshot in Palo Alto. Right now it is available in Palo Alto database. Now let's go again. And I'm trying to change something. I'm trying to change Palo Alto hostname. I'm trying to change Palo Alto hosting. For example, Palo Alto, Palo PAVM, for example, PAVM 555. You can click on OK. So you can change something in your Palo Alto. Let's commit our configuration. And now I'm trying to take another backup. Wait. So now you can verify, guys, host name is changed now, and I'm trying to take a backup, a new configuration backup. I'm trying to take a new snapshot. So new backup 1, you can click on OK. So I have 2 configuration snapshot. Radish, Ganu, Rohan, can you hear me? I
Yes.
have 2 snapshot. I have 2 configuration snapshot. So my point is, whenever you change anything in Palo Alto Fabric Box, you can take a snapshot. And right now, this snapshot is available in Palo Alto database. If you want to export this configuration snapshot, if you want to export this configuration snapshot and you want to store in external hard disk or on external server, so you can click on export. You can click on export configuration snapshot. So we have 2 snapshots. What we have new backup, new back 1. I'm trying to export this because I want to store on external server. You can click on again export. You can click on again export configuration snapshot. And I'm trying to export this my backup 111. You can click on. Now you can verify in download folder. In download folder, you can verify. You can click on download and see we have 2 snapshots. So whenever you change anything in Palo Alto, you can take changes. You can take configuration snapshot. Now let's change something now. In Palo Alto Firewall Box, I'm trying to change something. I'm trying to change my hosting, for example. So PAVM 888 something. You can click on OK. Now you can commit your configuration. Commit your configuration. Now, in case if you want to restore your last configurations, then wait, let's commit this configuration first. Now you can see as now host name is changed. I'm using PAVM 888 something. So now in case if I want to restore my configuration, I have a 2 backup file. Remember, I have a 2 backup file and I'm trying to restore. For example, new back point. This configuration snapshot I want to restore in Palo Alto Firewall. So what I can do? First, I need to import it. You can click on operation. You can click on import configuration snapshot and you can click on browser. You can see here in download, I have a new backup one. I can import this configuration snapshot. Now this snapshot is available now in your Palo Alto database. So it's not load right now. It's not live. It's only imported in Palo Alto database. For example, let's try to upload another backup snapshot. My backup 1 you can click on OK. So you can import your configuration snapshot, multiple configuration snapshot. And now which snapshot you want to load now. So you can click on load. You can click on load. You can click on here. For example, I want to load new back 1. You can just click on configuration is being loaded. You can click on close. You can click on commit. You can click on commit. So I'm trying to load my back one, right? This backup, new back one. Wait. If it is restored, so we can get our old host name. So the task is very simple. Whenever you change anything in Palo Alto, you can take configuration snapshot. See, clear? Ganyu, Jagdish, Rohan, clear for you?
Awesome.
This configuration snapshot. Okay. Now this is your slide number 1. Slide number 1. So we can focus on next slide. Next slide is called Palo Alto Lab Part 2. So in Palo Alto Lab Part 2, we can discuss interface configuration. See, we can focus on these topics. We can focus on these topics. Object, how to create object in Palo Alto, how to create zone, how to create custom virtual router, how to create interface management profile. So let's start our discussion. What I'm doing, I have a small topology. Let me show you. I have a small topology with LAN connectivity and WAN connectivity. Wait. Please wait 5 minutes. This Palo Alto firewall box will take time. So we can focus now on interface configuration. I have a small topology. See, as per this small topology, I'm trying to configure IP address on Ethernet 1/1. Ethernet 1/1 is a part of LAN site private network, and 1/2. This interface is participating in WAN side, or you can say on public network. So on public network side, I'm using 192.168.0.0 1.0/24. So I will configure IP address on Ethernet 1/1 statically, and on Ethernet 2, on Ethernet 1/2, I can configure through DSCP service. So in Palo Alto firewall box, what we can do, we can create zone, because Palo Alto firewall, PA firewall box, it's a zone-based firewall, JBF firewall box. What is JBF firewall box means? If I'm working with any zone-based firewall box, it means I need to create zones manually, and I can put these interfaces, for example, Ethernet 1/1, 1/2, these interfaces into their respective zone. So I can create LAN zone here and WAN zone. So please wait, this Palo Alto firewall box will take time. Then we will continue our interface configuration. Okay, everyone? Please wait. This will take time. If you are trying to log in, for example, if you are trying to log in, you cannot see admin, admin. So you have to wait because Palo Alto Firewall box will take time. This is not an error, okay? This will take time. Any problem, any question, everyone? Jagdish, can you go ahead?
No, no question.
Please wait, guys, 5 minutes. Okay, can you hear me, everyone? Can you,
Yes.
Rohan, Jagdish?
Yes.
Okay,
हाँ सर
okay. So let's talk about interface configuration in Palo Alto. Interface configuration. So for interface configuration, let's talk about Palo Alto interface type. Let's talk about Palo Alto interface type. So here in Palo Alto, we can discuss L3 interface, L2 interface type, next tap interface, tap, virtual wire interface, and HA. It's called high availability interface. So these are the Palo Alto interface type. What is L3 interface? L3 interface is just like a router interface where you can configure your IP address. You can configure your IP address. Guys, please wait. Give me 2 minutes. Everyone. Okay, everyone, can you hear me? Daniel, Jagdish, Rohan.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about Palo Alto interface type. So what is L3 interface? L3 is just like a router interface, okay, where you can configure your IP address, like your laptop LAN card or your router interface, L3 interface. So it's same like a router interface where you can configure your IP address. And yes, in our configuration, as per our discussion, I will use interface type L3 to configure this Ethernet 1/1 and 1/2. I will use Ethernet type L3 interface type. Now we have another concept is called L2 interface. L2 interface type is called switch port. It's called a switch port. It means on my Palo Alto firewall box, if I have multiple data interfaces, and if I want to use these two interfaces as a L2, as a normal switch port, if I want to use, so I need to select only interface type as a L2. So these interfaces are acting as a normal switch port. Remember switch interfaces? If you have switch interfaces, so you need to put these interfaces into VLAN. Remember in switching, we have a concept of VLAN, everyone. So you can use your Palo Alto interface as a normal switch port. Clear my point? L2 interface concept. Clear my point? L2 interface.
Yes.
Now we have another option. It's called tap interface. In Palo Alto firewall box, you can say tap interface. In Fortinet, you can say one arm sniffer. One arm sniffer. So what is tap interface? What is tap interface? So for example, in my existing, I have an existing routing and switching network. For example, this is my routing and switching topology. Routing and switching. These are the switches. These are switches. It's called switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. And these switches are connected with a router. Router you can say, and this router is connected with the internet. So this is simple routing and switching scenario. Okay, simple routing and switching. So into this topology, now I want to deploy a Palo Alto firewall box. I want to deploy it. So before deploy a firewall here, in inline mode, before deploying your firewall box in inline mode, I'm trying to deploy my firewall box here, my Palo Alto box here. I'm not trying to deploy right now. I'm not trying to deploy my firewall box in inline. I'm not trying to deploy here in inline mode. No. You can say for first week or for first 10 days, I want to use my Palo Alto interface as a tap interface. I'm not trying to deploy my firewall box in inline. I'm trying to deploy my Palo Alto firewall box here, and this Palo Alto firewall box is connected with this switch number 4, for example, and switch number 4 port number 25. And on Palo Alto, I'm using 0/5, for example, 0/5. Now, into this routing switching topology, what I can do, I can use a concept is called span. Any idea about span or rspan, everyone? Any idea about span or rspan? Rohan, Jagdish, Sandeep, can you?
स्पैनिंग ट्री पता है
Sorry? Any idea about span concept in routing and switching? This is routing switching concept. Span is a
नहीं
routing and switching concept. Any idea what is span? Ganu, Jagdish, Rohan, Sandeep.
सर अगर शायद से मैं श्योर नहीं हूँ बट शायद से हमारा अगर L2 इंटरफेस अगर हमारा डाउन हो जाता है तो स्पैनिंग ट्री की वजह से हमें
No, it's not. It's not a spanning tree. No, it's not STP.
ओके 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 सॉरी
I'm
सॉरी
not talking about
ओके
STP, spanning tree. No,
ओके
I'm talking about
सॉरी सर
span.
पता
Span.
नहीं
It's a switching. It's a switching feature, switching technology.
नहीं सर, फिर
It's
तो
called
सही
switch port analyzer. Okay, switch port analyzer. This concept we are using for port mirroring. For port mirroring. So what we can do, see, if you are working in a if you are working with single switch, so you can use a concept. You can use a concept is called span. But in case if you have multiple switches, so you can go with the R span concept. R span. So right now we have multiple switches. So into your routing switching topology, you can implement R span. It's called remote switch port analyzer. What I can do, I can enable R span concept here. R span onto this interface and on this interface. I can enable R span concept on switch number 3 this port and on switch number 4 this port. Why? Because through this port, traffic is traveling to outside, reply packet is coming. That's why I'm trying to implement R span here on switch number 3. So now this time, any traffic, if you are using span, it's called switch port analyzer. This concept we are using for port mirroring. So now this time, if any traffic is going to TX and RX, it means now any traffic is going to transmit or receive onto this particular interface. So this will create a copy of this packet and then send it to this interface. In RSpan configuration, you can decide source interface and destination interface on switch. So what I'm using, I'm trying to capture packet information, receive and transmit information onto this particular port. Traffic is traveling, and this will create a copy of this packet and then send it to the switch number 4, port 0/25. And this port 0/25 is connected with Palo Alto 0/5. And this port I'm using as a tap interface. It means tap is we are using only for monitoring. I'm trying to collect the information. What type of traffic is traveling? Okay, is traveling into this scenario, into this network. What type of traffic is traveling? Because as an administrator, if I have an idea about the traffic pattern, so this can help me to configure my firewall policy. This can help me to filter my network because I already know the traffic pattern in my organization. So now this tap interface is trying to collect all the information. Okay, so after 1 week or after 10 days, now you can see the data information. You can see the data, what type of application they are accessing, what type of file they are accessing most of the time, what type of URL they are accessing most of the time. So you have a data information. Okay, you have a data. Now after that, now you can deploy your Palo Alto Firewall box in inline, and now as an administrator, now you have an idea what type of application or files or URL you want to allow or block. So tab interface we are only using for monitoring. With tab interface, you cannot block anything. Clear my point? Can you, Jagdish, Rohan, Sandeep?
Yes.
Tab interface is just like हमारी भाषा में क्या होता है, जो गांव में पेड़ के नीचे दादाजी टाइप के लोग बैठे रहते हैं ना, किसका बेटा कहाँ जा रहा है. Clear my point, Rohan, Sandeep, Jagdish?
Yes, yes.
This is the concept कि वो सिर्फ डेटा कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं और फिर बाद में बताते हैं आप उनके पिताजी को कि आपका बेटा इधर जा रहा था उधर जा. So that is called tap interface in Palo Alto. In Fortinet, you can say one arm snip. I hope this concept is clear for everyone. Sandeep? Everyone? Clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's take a break for 5 minutes. 5-minute break, and then we can continue our virtual wire concept and high availability concept. Okay, so please wait. We can start in 5 minute 5 minute break. Hello, can you hear me, everyone? Ganu, Jagdish, Rohan, Sandeep.
हाँ सर.
Hello.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Let's start our discussion. So let's talk about our next interface type. Next interface type is called. Please turn off your mic, everyone. If you have any question, you can unmute. So let's talk about our next interface type is called virtual wire interface. Virtual wire. So this concept is called virtual wire pairing. Virtual wire pairing. What is virtual wire pairing interface? Virtual wire interface. So see, virtual wire interface is just like a layer 2 firewall device. It's just like a layer 2 firewall, but it's not a layer 2 firewall, okay? I will tell you this concept in detail, but right now I'm giving you the idea. Virtual wire interface is just like a layer 2 firewall. What is layer 2 firewall? See, for example, we can use our firewall box as a L3 firewall, or we can use as a L2 firewall device. So in case if I have a L3 firewall box, so I can configure IP address onto these interfaces. Onto these interfaces, I can configure IP address. I can configure routing, VPN concept. I can configure routing, VPN concept, NAT concept onto this firewall box. And this is next generation firewall. So I can use next generation firewall features. No problem. So with L3 firewall box, we have a great feature. We can implement routing. We can go with the VPN option or NAT option. In case if this firewall device is acting as a layer 2, in case it's acting as a layer 2 firewall box. So layer 2 firewall box. So we cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. No, because these interfaces are acting as a layer 2 interface. It's not a switch port. No, it's not a switch port. It's a layer 2 interface. Okay, where we cannot configure IP address. So in this scenario, we can use layer 2 firewall box because with layer 2 firewall box, we have some limitation. We cannot configure routing. We cannot configure NAT. We cannot configure VPN onto this layer 2 firewall box. So in this scenario, we can use, it's a different concept in this scenario. But right now we are talking about virtual wire. So virtual wire concept, see. So virtual wire, it's just like a layer 2 firewall, but it's not a layer 2 firewall box. It's just like a layer 2 firewall. So where we can use, for example, I have a simple routing and switching topology. This is a router with WAN connectivity, and I have a switch in my topology and computers in my LAN side. Everything is working fine into this topology. Everything is working fine. It's a simple routing and switching topology. Traffic is traveling to the switch. Switch is forwarding traffic to the router, and based on his routing table, router is forwarding this traffic information to outside. So everything is working fine into this topology. Now I want to deploy a firewall here, for example. I want to deploy a firewall here. And this firewall device, if I'm using this firewall device as a L3 firewall box, so these interfaces are acting as a layer 3. And see, before deploy this L3 firewall box, this is your single subnet, LAN site, and this is your different subnet. So I'm trying to deploy my firewall box in LAN, and if this firewall device is L3 firewall box, so each interface onto this L3 firewall box, each interface they are participating in different subnet because it's a L3 firewall box. So each interface are acting as a layer 3 interface. They are participating in different subnet. So I need to change IP address scheme in my existing route. In my existing scenario, I need to change IP address scheme. Now my single network is divided into 2 different subnet, right? I need to change IP address scheme. If I don't want to change, for example, if I don't want to change IP address scheme and I want to deploy a firewall box in my live scenario, in my live network, in my live routing switching network, I don't want to just change IP address scheme, but I want to deploy a firewall here, so I can deploy this firewall device as a layer 2. This firewall device is a layer 2 firewall box, so it means we cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. So now this firewall box is a part of same subnet. No need to change IP address scheme, and it's a firewall interface. So I need to put this interface in zone. So this is LAN. This is what WAN zone. And to allow traffic from one zone to another zone, you need to configure what? Firewall policy. So it's a complete firewall device. It's a complete firewall, but what? We have a layer 2 feature. We cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. It's a firewall. We can use next generation firewall feature, no problem. But we have some limitation. We cannot configure routing, NAT, VPN onto this firewall box. So, same kind of concept we have in virtual wire. Virtual wire means what? It's kind of layer 2 interfaces. These interfaces are acting as a layer. So I can go with the virtual wire pairing. So I can create here vWire, for example, vWire A. So I can create vWire A concept. And these two interfaces I will put into virtual wire A. I will put into the virtual wire A. Now you cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces. These are like a layer 2. Clear my point, everyone? You will get a clear picture when we will do a lab. I can show you the option. Is that clear? Right now the concept. These interfaces are acting as a layer 2. Rohan, Jagdish, can you, Sandeep, any question?
No.
Okay. Now let's talk about next interface type is called high availability interface. So HA is called what? HA is called high availability interface. So if you have high-end Palo Alto firewall box, so you will get a dedicated HA port. If I'm trying to configure high availability into PA1 and PA2, so what I can do, I need a high availability link. In Palo Alto, we need two separate link. It's called high availability link 1 and high availability link 2. I need two separate link in Palo Alto. So if you are working with high end appliance, so you will get a dedicated HA port. Data interface is different, okay, but you will get a dedicated HA port. It's called high availability port. But in case if you are working with entry level firewall box, for example, you have PA200 firewall box or PA220 firewall box. So onto these series of the firewall, you can use your data interface because you don't have any dedicated high availability interface on entry level firewall box. So you can use your data interface as a high availability interface. So for example, if I have multiple data interfaces, data interface 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these 2, 6, and 7 interface, I can use as a high availability link. If I don't have any dedicated HA port, I can use my data interface as a high availability interface. Okay, so this concept I can tell you when we will discuss about high availability implementation or failover configuration. I can show you, no problem. So let's start our this configuration part. So I'm trying to focus first on layer 3 interface type. So let's go on to the topology. I have a small topology with two interfaces, Ethernet 1/1 and 1/2. So I'm trying to access this Palo Alto. Wait. Please wait, this will take time. Okay, so for interface configuration, you can click on network tab. You can click on network tab. And you can see this option is called interface. So for interface configuration, you can go into the network tab, you can click on interface, and now here we have multiple interfaces. Ethernet interface, VLAN interface, loopback interface, and tunnel interface. If you click on Ethernet, so these are the physical interfaces. These are what? Physical interfaces on your firewall box. Physical interfaces. So right now onto this Palo Alto firewall box, we have 8 data interface. 8 data interfaces. In case if you want to create VLAN interface or loopback interface or tunnel interface, or if you want to create sub interfaces, so yes, you can create sub interfaces. Let's start our discussion with the interface configuration 1/1. So as per our topology, I'm trying to configure IP address on Ethernet 1/1. This 1/1 we are using as a LAN port. So let's go on to the firewall box. You can select your interface 1/1. Now you can see this option. See, here we have interface name. So we are trying to configure Ethernet 1/1. You can go with the interface type. If you click here, you can get multiple option. Tab interface, HA interface type, virtual wire, layer 2, layer 3. So in case if you go with the tab interface, for example, if you go with the tab interface, you can see you have only two tab, config and advanced. You have two options, config and advanced. So you can see you have to put this interface into a security zone. And if you click on advanced button, you cannot configure anything. Only you can put this interface in a zone. So remember always, you cannot configure IP address on tab interface. Now, if you select, for example, if you select your HA, high availability link, so here you can only select your interface type, HA. For high availability configuration, you can go into the device tab. But here you can select, for example, I want to use Ethernet 1/1 as a high availability link. So you can select interface tab, click on. If you select, for example, if you select your virtual wire, so you can see you have two tabs, config and advanced. So in config, we have two options, virtual wire and security zone. So we can create virtual wire here, and this interface we can put into the virtual wire, and we can put this interface into security zone. If you click on advanced, so remember I told you virtual wire interface is just like a layer 2 firewall. We cannot configure IP address on interface. So you can see there is no any option. See, there's no any option for interface configuration. We cannot configure IP address. We can't configure IP address. Now, if you select, for example, layer 2, so it's a switch port. I told you. So you can see advanced tab. If you click on config, so it's a switch port. So you can put this interface into VLAN, and you can put this interface in a zone. You need to create zone option because Palo Alto is a zone-based firewall box. Now you can click on here. You can select L3, for example. You can select your L3 interface type, L3 interface. So now this interface is acting as a L3. So yes, I can configure IP address onto this interface. See, we have config tab, IPv4, IPv6, and advanced. So what is config? What is config tab? In config tab, we can put this interface in a virtual router. So in Palo Alto firewall box, we have a virtual router concept. Then we can put our interface in security zone. Now you can go for IPv4 configuration, or you can go with the IPv6. You can click on advanced. You can use other option. So let's, as per our topology, I'm trying to configure IP address on Ethernet 1/1. So let's start our IP address configuration. Any problem? Ganu, any problem? Jagdish, Rohan, Sandeep?
No problem.
Okay. So now let's talk about layer 2 interface type. So now you can click on virtual router. You can click here. See, so you need to put this interface in virtual router. What is virtual router concept? What is virtual router concept? So for example, okay guys, remember VRF concept in routing and switching? Rohan, any idea? VRF concept in routing and switching?
नहीं सर.
Okay, no problem. Jagdish, Sandeep, Ganu, VRF. It's a routing and switching topic. Any
No,
idea
no.
about VRF?
No.
Okay, it's called virtual. It's a VPN concept. It's like a VPN MPLS concept. VRF is called virtual routing and forwarding. So with VRF concept, you can divide your single router into multiple virtual routers. It means you can divide your single global routing table into multiple separate routing tables. This topic is related with MPLS technology. Okay, that's why this concept is called VRF. So, same kind of concept we have in Palo Alto. If you have multiple interfaces, for example, multiple interfaces. So I can create here, virtual router. For example, I can create virtual router A, and these three interfaces I'm trying to put into the virtual router A. Now I can create virtual router B, virtual router C. So virtual router A don't know anything about virtual router B. Now I can go into the virtual router A, and I can put this interface in LAN, this interface in WAN, this interface in DMZ. Into this virtual router B, I can put this interface in LAN, WAN, and DMZ. If I want to configure if I want to configure routing in between these three interfaces, I need to go into the virtual router A. If I want to allow traffic from LAN to WAN, I need to go in virtual router A. So we can divide our single global routing table into multiple virtual routing tables. Clear my point? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so what I can do is, see, you can click on interface. You can click on interface Ethernet 1/1. You can select your interface type. It's called L3 interface. And now virtual router. So we have a default virtual router. Like in our router, if you type show IP route in Cisco router, so you will get your global routing table, default global routing table. So here we have a default virtual router. If you want to create your own, so you can click on virtual router here, and you can create. So for example, I'm trying to create my virtual router. I'm giving a name VIR, for example. So VIR, and now you can see into this virtual router, we can configure static route, redistribution, RIP, OSPF version 3, BGP, multicast. So right now I'm trying to create this virtual router, VIR. And this interface I'm trying to put into the VIR. Now you can create your security zone, because Palo Alto firewall box is a zone-based firewall box. You need to put your interface in a zone. So you can click on zone. You can create your zone as per our discussion. I'm creating LAN zone here. So you can You can give a name is called LAN zone. You can just click on OK. So now we have a LAN zone. Now you can click on IPv4 interface. So for IPv4, if you click on IPv4, you have two options. You have three options. Either you can configure IP address statically, or you can go with the PPOE, is called point-to-point protocol over Ethernet. Or in case if you want to use DSCP client option onto this interface, you can, no problem. So I'm trying to configure right now, I'm trying to configure IP address statically, so you can go with the static option. Now you can click on add, you can click on add, you can click on address. Now why click on address? See, you can click on add, and here you can create address object. So remember always Palo Alto firewall, CCSA, checkpoint firewall box, or Cisco FTD, Cisco Firepower Threat Defense. These three firewall box, not only these, okay, Cisco ASA, Fortinet. These firewall devices are object-oriented firewall box. So into these firewall box, we can create object here, like IP address object, single IP address object, or range object, or MAC address object. So we can create here IP address object, and these objects we can use in our configuration. So what I'm doing, you can click on address. I can tell you in detail about address object. I can tell you in detail, but right now I'm creating an IP address object. You can give a name here. It's called LAN 200.200.200. It's not an IP address. It's an object name. Here you can configure your IP address. So 200.200.1/24. So onto this interface, I'm configuring this IP address. So this IP address I'm using into this object LAN 200.200.201, and this object I'm trying to attach with this interface. Now you can click on IP version 6. If you want to configure IP version 6 address here, so you can just enable IPv6 on the interface. You can click on add. You can click on address option. You can give a name. If you guys are familiar with the IP version 6, I'm configuring IP version 6. Remember IP version 6? It has 128-bit. It is in a hexadecimal format. Remember, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So I'm giving a name marketing-user1. So IP address, for example, 2001:10:1:23:1/64. You can click on OK. This is IP version 6 address. You can click on OK. Now you can click on OK. Done. You can click on advanced. Now you can click on advanced, and you can attach management profile. Why management profile? Because I told you in day one session, by default, on data interfaces, nothing is allowed. Everything is denied. Okay, no services is allowed on data interfaces, but on management port, ping, HTTPS, and SSH, these three services are enabled on management port. But on data interfaces, no services are enabled. So what you can do, you can create your management profile. In management profile, you can attach your services. You can click on management profile. You can give a name. It's called, for example, MGMT1. Just a name. You can give any name here. And these are the services. So you can create services bundle. You can create service bundle. See, these are the administrative management services, and these are the network services. So for example, right now I'm trying to enable ping service onto this particular port into this management profile. So I'm trying to enable ping service onto this port. So I'm creating management profile MGMT with ping service. If you want to enable SSH telnet, you can just select. You can click on OK. So this is the services, and this service bundle name is MGMT1. You can click on OK. You can click on OK. And now this is your interface. You can verify here. You can verify your Ethernet 1/1 interface type layer 3 management profile MGMT11 you are using IP address IPv4, and this is what IP version 6 virtual router VIR security zone we are using is called LAN zone. Now you can click on commit. You can click on commit and you can commit your configuration. So let's go on to the CLI option. We can verify our IP address information. Show interface. So this is what Ethernet 1/1. Wait, let's commit this configuration first. Any problem? Sunny, Rohan, can you, Jitish?
No,
Any problem, guys? Rohan, any question?
नहीं सर.
Okay, Sandeep. Okay, so now this configuration is completed. See, completed. Now you can type show interface Ethernet 1/1. You can press enter. You can verify your information. See, virtual router interface type operation mode. We are using L3. Virtual router is VIR. You can see, and IP address onto this interface 200.201. IPv6 address and management profile. We are using MGMT11, and these services ping, telnet, SSH. These services are enabled into this management profile. I hope it's clear for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue this topic on next weekend, everyone. Okay.
सर
Yes,
अपना जो वीडियो थे वो अपलोड कर दीजिए ना सर.
Last session video.
हाँ, जो अपने तीन चार लेक्चर जो हुए हैं उसका कोई भी वीडियो अब तक अपलोड नहीं हुआ है.
अभी अपलोड कर देता हूँ. ओके, अभी मेरे पास एक और सेशन है. मैं अभी आज 9:30 पे अपलोड कर दूंगा सारी वीडियोस. ओके,
कोई दिक्कत नहीं. और सर कल आपको टाइम रहेगा क्या? मैं वीएम इंस्टॉल करने जा रहा हूँ, तो कल कुछ दिक्कत रहेगा तो आपको कोऑर्डिनेट करने के लिए कोई आपका प्रेफर्ड टाइम रहेगा क्या?
मैं 2 से 3 के बीच में फ्री रहूंगा लंच टाइम पे.
2 से
3 2 to 3
2 to 3.
2 to 3 में फ्री
ठीक है
रहूंगा.
सर, अगर कुछ इश्यू रहेगा तो मैं आपको पिंग कर लूंगा 2 to 3 के बीच में.
Okay, now
Okay,
guys,
sir,
let's
thank you.
continue this topic on next weekend. Okay, Sandeep, Jatish, Rohan, Ganyu.
Okay.
Bye everyone. Take care, guys. Bye
Bye, sir.
everyone.
Bye.